Subscribe for the latest in boxing. Anthony Joshua, you are the true heavyweight champion. And I, as a boxing fan, appreciate the fact that you're willing to take risks. Because, me as a boxing fan, I was always a heavyweight boxing fan growing up. And I told you guys my story. I always wanted there to be an American heavyweight. I didn't grow up in the 1980s, 1990s. I didn't see Mike Tyson. I wish I would have. Sometimes I talk to older boxing fans, and they tell me stuff like, I remember watching Mike Tyson fight Evander Holyfield. I saw that fight live. And you know what I think to myself? I think to myself, man, lucky you. You got to see Mike Tyson when he was young. By the time I started watching boxing, Mike Tyson was retired. You know who I got to see? I got to see Vladimir Klitschko. So I always wanted there to be a American champion. And I wanted that to be Wilder. I wanted it to be Wilder for the longest time, but Wilder didn't impress me as a boxing fan. I have standards. I have standards as a boxing fan. When I look at fighters, I look at their resumes. I look at the people they fought. I look at the quality of title defenses, the quality of opponents they fight, and the quality of fighters they fight against. And that's how I rate them. That's how I show them respect. That's just how I am. Some boxing fans don't do that. Some boxing fans, they don't care. They don't care if a guy has absolutely nobody in their resumes. Like, I can't relate to that. Like, I've seen some people say stuff like, I don't care if this guy has a shit resume. I don't care if he's fighting a bum. That's not me, homie. Like, I can't do that. As a boxing fan, I cannot relate to a boxing fan like that. He might be a casual boxing fan, or he might just be... See, the thing... Boxing fans who tend to think like that tend to be boxer fans. Like, they're not a fan of the sport of boxing. They're just a fan of one particular fighter. Like, when it comes to Wilder fans, a lot of his fans are just Wilder fans. They're not a fan of the sport of boxing. But a true boxing fan, a boxing fan who is a fan of the sport of boxing, the history of boxing, appreciates resumes. This is why I appreciate someone like Anthony Joshua as a boxing fan. Because I see the fact that he has 22 fights. I see the fact that was willing to unify. I see the fact that he took the risk that Wilder didn't take when he fought Vladimir Klitschko. I see the fact that he fought guys like Dillian White, Dominic Breazeale, Joseph Parker, Carlos Takam, Alexander Povetkin. These are good names to have in your resume. And I saw the fact that he was doing this with 19, 20 fights. And then I compared that to Wilder. And I saw the fact that Wilder was fighting a guy like Nikolai Furfa, a guy with 12 losses in his record, in his 30th fight. What is that? What is that? Could you imagine Anthony Joshua fighting a guy with 10 losses in his record in his next fight? He would get crucified. People would say, this guy is a joke. Why is he fighting this guy in his 23rd professional fight? That's how I felt when I saw Deontay Wilder fighting Nikolai Furfa in his 30th fight. I looked at that and I thought to myself, why in the hell is Deontay Wilder fighting Nikolai Furfa in his 30th fight? That's a joke. That's pathetic. When I saw Deontay Wilder fight Jason Gavern in his 31 professional fight, Jason Gavern has 17 losses, or about 7, around there. He's a journeyman times 5. I felt disgusted as a boxing fan, as an American boxing fan. I couldn't understand. I couldn't comprehend, why is this man facing Jason Gavern with 31 professional fights? But I don't remember Deontay Wilder fans saying nothing about that. No one was saying nothing about that. You know what they said instead? It's okay. He's learning in the job. He's learning in the job. They gave him a pass. It was okay for Wilder. But God forbid Anthony Joshua fights somebody like that in his next fight. This man will get crucified. People would crucify him. I'm telling you right now. That's what I'm saying. It's not a balance, you know. Joshua gets no credit. Joshua gets no credit. Wilder gets all the credit. Wilder could get away with things that Joshua can never get away with. Like I said, Joshua fights a bum tomorrow. He will get crucified. Chastised by all these American boxing channels. These big American boxing channels. You best believe that. Wilder does the same thing. Oh, let's give him a pass. That's why I don't appreciate Wilder as a boxing fan. Forget about as an American boxing fan. As a boxing fan, I don't appreciate Deontay Wilder. Because I didn't appreciate when he fought Nikolai Furfa in his 30th fight. And I didn't appreciate when he fought, bum-ass Jason Gavin in his 31 fight. But when I look at guys like Joshua, a guy who fought guys like Klitschko in his 19th fight, who fought guys like Parker in his 21st fight, who's fighting guys like Alexander Povetkin in his 23rd fight. That to me is way more impressive than someone than what Wilder was doing in his 23rd fight. What was Wilder doing in his 23rd fight? Fighting a guy with about 140 losses in his record. And yeah, that might be a little over-exaggerating it, but trust me, homie, the guy's losses, win to lose ratio wasn't that far off by that. It was probably at least 89 losses. Trust me, look at the guys he was fighting in his 23rd fight. None but bums. Absolute bums. Guys who worked at Walmart part-time. Guys who had 3 jobs outside of boxing. That's the type of level guys he was fighting back then. When he was 23-0. You see what I'm saying? So I can't appreciate stuff like that. But I do recognize, and I'm capable of recognizing, that a fighter is putting in the work early in his career. That's why if you look at me and you look at my history, I never make fun of fighters who put in the work. You never see me trashing Andre Ward. You never see me trashing him. I've never made a video trashing Andre Ward because he put in the work. I've never made a video trashing Terence Crawford. Whenever you ever see me make a video criticizing Terence Crawford, I haven't done it because he put in the work. You get what I'm saying? I don't chastise fighters who put in the work. I don't chastise fighters who challenge themselves. But when it comes to Wilder, I just have to chastise him because his resume, man. Again, the only time I might do that is if I'm joking, is if I'm trolling. Like sometimes I'll troll fighters. But that's why I put hashtag troll. But some people don't understand what a troll video is. But anyway, back to the video. I cannot appreciate Wilder as a boxing fan. Definitely not more than someone like Anthony Joshua. That's why I say he is the true champion. As long as he keeps fighting the guys he's supposed to fight, as long as he keeps challenging himself, I'm going to continue to talk highly about Anthony Joshua. And even if he loses, depending on how that fight goes, and depending on who he lost to, I'm not going to be trashing him. So do not expect me to make, let's say Anthony Joshua loses one day. Do not expect me to make a video saying, trashing Anthony Joshua because he lost. Like some of these channels who dislike Joshua because he's from the UK. Like some of these channels will do. I'm not going to do that. The same thing goes for Wilder. Do not expect me to make videos trashing Deontay Wilder when he loses. Because I'm not here to make fun of fighters who lose to legit guys. Evander Holyfield lost several times, but it was always to a legit dude. So I don't go around making fun of Evander Holyfield because I saw what he did after he would come back and beat those guys and become a champion again. So imagine I criticize somebody for losing, and then they come back and become a champion. So that's why I don't do that shit. Anyway, guys, this is just an appreciation video for Joshua, the real heavyweight champion of the world.